final guest is an actor, stand-up comedian, poet, author, TV presenter and DJ. Fair to say, a man of many talents. He presents the most successful and longest-running show on digital radio station 6 Music, and you'll also know him as one of TV's best-loved characters, either as Corrie, Cabby, Lloyd Mullaney, or Red Dwarf's Dave Lister. Please welcome Craig Charles.
Hello, boss. Alrighty.
How are you?
I'm good.
It's good to see you. Now, just looking at that, though, you'd never acted before you got the role of Dave Lister.
No, I started out as a poet, and I was doing a show called Saturday Night Live as a poet, and a chap called Paul Jackson, who was a producer, was leading to this new science fiction sitcom called Red Dwarf, and I said, give us a look at it, And he gave me a look, and I said, oh, it's brilliant, can I play Lister? And he went, no. And then I went to a couple of auditions, and the writers, who are from Manchester, did not want Dave Lister to be a Scouser at all. But I read it, and I came back for a second audition, and he went, OK, very reluctantly gave me the part, so...
Yeah. But you'd never guess, because he is the last human on the planet, isn't he?
He is.
And a Scouse accent, I can see what they meant, really, can't you?
I don't know what you mean.
Now, you girls don't know that when Craig started out in Red Dwarf, I was your boss.
Janet was I just said to him, hello, boss. Janet was my boss. I know.
I was the executive in charge of Red Dwarf, and it had already started, hadn't it, Craig?
Yeah.
I think I came on series 2, and the fans, it was such a hit from the beginning.
Yeah, I think it's the highest rated BBC Two show ever, and I don't think that'll ever be beaten now. But never mind that, you were in charge of all the youth TV, and I was a youth back then, and we did a show together called Cyberzone.
Yes, that's right.
Which, you know, I'm glad that people remember my hits, because I was
You haven't got any scarring memories from me being your boss?
No, it was good. It was like cutting-edge television as well, which I've always tried to be involved in, whether it's Robot Wars or Red Dwarf, trying to, like...
So is Red Dwarf back now?
We've just finished a brand-new series, Red Dwarf 10, and...
You've come to a new audience, haven't you, though, so...
Well, yeah, I've got a 14-year-old daughter, Anna Jo, and all their friends come up and they watch it now on Dave and stuff like that, and I'm thinking, you weren't even born when the last series went out, never mind the first series.
How was it in 88? 1988
started in 1988, so it's nearly 25
what do we
years.
expect now? How different is it?
Well, I mean, it's not... I mean, we're all slightly older, of course.
Is it the present day now, then?
It's kind of... Lister has to push when he takes a leak now. But it's kind of like... It's still the same premise, the four of us on board, 3 million years into deep space, looking for a way home in a really hot curry. And I'm the last human alive, and I've got a hologram, a computer, and an android, a mechanoid as ship's company. We've all got a bit older. There's a lot more software in Crichton now.
I was going to say,
a lot more software.
What do you think the secret is, though? Because that's a long time ago, isn't it? That started. Why did you think you'd still have an audience today?
No, we thought we'd do a curious BBC Two sitcom, do a couple of series, and then, you know, on your way. But it just kind of really took off on a sort of worldwide level. I mean, America, Australia.
One of the reasons is because I think, Craig, it's because of the Doctor Who thing as well, because Doctor Who is another brand that's lasted all these years.
And science fiction fans are very loyal, you know. I mean, and that's, you know, I mean, because all these years later, I mean, we still go to conventions, and the conventions are packed with people dressed up as me. People have got me tattooed on their boobs and things like that. You're like, can you sign that, please? Can you put it away, love? You know, it's all a bit odd.
So you're not doing Corrie, obviously, at the moment, then? Cause...
Well, I've just finished there doing Red Dwarf, and I'm back on Coronation Street at the end of the month. Granada were really nice to let me off for a few months to go and do it.
I've missed Lloyd, may I say, because I am the big Corrie fan.
Thank you very much. Well, it went out on a real emotional level, which was quite...
It did. I was so upset.
I keep getting people whining there. Hey, mate, your missus is fooling around on you, you know, stuff like that. Well, is that real or not real? Like, running home. Hey, Jackie, what's going on?
But hey, you've got another career as a DJ, and that's gone on all the last decade at the same time.
I'm sort of the Ken Barlow of Six Well, I've been at 6 Music since the very beginning, you know, and it's like our 10th birthday, and it's fantastic, really, because, like, I don't know if you remember, a couple of years ago, they tried to sort of close us down.
Yes.
And there was a great public outcry. And, like, I'm talking about marches and placards with
was
thousands of
fantastic,
people saying,
actually,
save
wasn't it?
Six Music.
Yeah.
But the thing about Six Music is, it's one of those things that kind of fulfills the BBC's remit fully. It's educational, it's entertainment.
Absolutely.
It's, you know, it's got DJs that are enthusiastic, that are inspirational, they're experts, they're enthusiasts, that they
you
love
get to
music,
play
you know.
what you love, don't you?
Yeah, it's not one of those stations where you play the same 24 records on a constant loop, you know. I play funk and soul music, you know, so, you know, and it's like Saturday nights, Six Music, 7 till 10, and people text in, they're dancing around the kitchen, cooking, they're getting ready to go out, and it's like a perfect...
Are you doing something special then for the 10th anniversary?
Well, we did a thing where the audience phoned in and they chose their favourite living British funk and soul drummer, bass player, guitarist, horn section, and I phoned up all these people like James Taylor from the James Taylor Quartet on Hammond and all that, and I phoned them all up and said, do you want to be in a band? And they all said yes. So then we got like a load of guest singers like Lisa Stansfield and Beverly Knight and the Magic Numbers.
We love them.
And we did a big concert at Maida Vale a couple of weeks ago, and that's just gone out. And this Friday, tomorrow night, we're doing a big gig at the South Bank with people like Public Image and Laura Marling and Graham Coxon.
That's fantastic.
And it's a music station. It's people who love music, and it's great to work on.
Now, I've got a question here from a viewer.
It's not a geography question. I'm not good at geography.
It's not a question about Red Dwarf, it's about music. It's from Matthew. He says, I'm a massive fan of soul music, and I wondered if you still have your original vinyl records of Northern Soul and what your favourite Northern Soul track is.
Oh, well, I suppose my favourite Northern Soul track would be Frank Wilson, Do I Love You, Indeed I Do, which incidentally, I mean, because these people are anoraks and record sniffers and stuff like that, right? It recently sold for £28,000, the original 7-inch single. There's only 2 of them in known existence, and that's how rare this Northern Soul stuff can be. I was never really I never really had a big Northern Soul collection. I was more into sort of like, you know, my dad introduced me, like, he came in the late 50s over to England, you know, with like a couple of shillings and a bag full of records, and he turned me on to Ray Charles and B.B. King and Muddy Waters and that kind of stuff, and that's how I sort of got into it. So I never really had a big Northern collection. I was more like Parliament, P-Funk, Bootsy Collins,
them.
George Clinton, that kind of stuff, you know.
Fantastic. So do you collect records still?
I do collect records. I'm dead lucky as well, though, because I haven't worked on Six Music for 10 years. People send you them as well. So, and my wife Jackie is like, can you clean, because we've got this library, can you clean the library out, because there's just records everywhere, and I'm very reluctant, you know, you were talking about throwing clothes away and stuff like that. I'm very reluctant to throw records away at all, so I've got a massive
Do you keep
collection.
some of Dave Lister's clothes?
I've got Dave Lister's leather jacket, I've got his trousers, I've got his boots, I've got his hat. An American offered me $20,000 for Dave Lister's jacket just a few months ago. I'm kind of thinking about it, really.
Because that kind of stuff is really, really valuable now.
I've got all my records. I've got all my vinyl records I've ever had. I've got about 2,000 vinyl records. I love them so much.
When you go back to Corrie, can I just ask you, what's going to happen to Lloyd?
Well, you know I couldn't possibly comment. All I've been assured is that he's coming back with a bang. So there you go. So there
What
you go.
kind of bang?
Not the Ken Barlow kind of bang. To be fair to him, though, it was in the 60s, and they only had one show a week then. He had a lot of time on his hands. You know? And to be honest, you said you haven't. I've slept with him. I have, you know? He's always at my dressing room door like that. I go, no, Ken Barlow, it's over. Craig, let me in.
Craig, thank you so much for coming in. Thank you, Craig Charles.